Started that video. I'm still combing my beard. Alright. Here we go. Sorry Mojo. I'm just tidying up my face. There we go. Now then, here I am, still in my shop, cellar bar, the stage where you used to sing, and I'm going to read a chapter out of your book. So, this is chapter 3, part 1, Slice of Mojo. So here we go. I started as a 7-piece ska band called EMF at the beginning of the 1980s. The band consisted of myself on bass, Dave Gordon on guitar, Jim Allen on alto sax and vocals, Leroy Wright on drums, Fitzroy Wilson on rhythm, and the two sisters Sharon and Donna Elkington on vocals. We played all over the UK supporting lots of bands including The Beat, Bad Manners, The Body Snatchers and many others. You'll have to fill us in on them many others because I want to know who they are as well. When we first started we used to practice at my parents' house. Some of the two-tone band Selector used to come along and listen to us. That was Gapper H and Desmond. They're some awesome friends, mate. We had awesome packed nights with my ska band EMF. We had a gig up north at Redcar in a biker's place. The manager of the club was sniffing coke all night. And our dressing room was a very large kitchen. We had a great night and all the bikers loved our music. At the end of the night we raided the food in the kitchen to take back home with us to Coventry. We all went back to my house for a massive breakfast and then a few hours sleep before we went to Stourbridge Arts College to play again for all the students. We had a crazy night in Stourbridge. When we walked into the place, it had settees all over the room and the place was jam-packed with students. The room was a thick cloud of smoke with an overpowering smell of cannabis. I think that might have been a joss stick behind the bar. We all seemed to get high without smoking. Oh, it was cannabis. Dave, the lead guitarist and one of the girl singers, fell off the stage while we were playing. Everyone just couldn't stop laughing and dancing. It was a great night. I don't know how we got through that night, but we did, and everyone enjoyed it. When we got back to Coventry, we'd end up going to a Jamaican blues party until the early hours. Then we'd go home and have a few hours sleep before going and playing a pub on the Sunday night near Leamington Spa. We'd play every Sunday night at the place and we had such a great time. After about 3 months' work, we went under Oak Agency from Birmingham. Gave us loads of bookings for the next year, playing all over the country and supporting all the top ska bands around. We had such great times. After the year we did the first battle of the bands and came first in the final at the Birmingham Odeon, and then we came third at the main final at Hammersmith Odeon in London, where we won a recording time to do a single with RCA plus a compilation album for the Battle of the Bands. Travelling Riverside Blues Band. I left my own ska band after a while and at the time wanted to get back to playing the blues. So I went up to Clay Lane Music Shop to put an advert in for the musicians to get a blues band together. I had a phone call straight away from John Alderson. I remember seeing John many years ago in a band called Wandering John playing the Coventry Cathedral. Together we formed a band called the Travelling Riverside Blues Band, and my bass playing took on a different meaning when the playing with such great musicians as John. Blues guitarist extraordinaire. We played our blues heavy and built up a huge reputation on the circuit. We played all the universities around Britain supporting the Paul Johns Blues Band, Dr. Feelgood, 9 Below Zero, Tony McPhee's band, ex-Chicken Shack, and many more. Later on came SAMMY, Earthquake and the VOLCANOES. This is part 2. After the travelling Riverside Blues Band, I put another band together with a guy called Dickie Slick and called in a drummer, Rhett Butler from Exhall near Coventry. We went out as a three-piece playing old rock and roll numbers. We called the band Sammy, Earthquake and the Volcanoes. It's a good rock and roll name. We had so much work coming in. They were great times. My old mate Roddy Byers from the Specials came and played with us when he wasn't gigging with his own band, the Tearjerkers. We had so much fun. There was a gig we did in Hereford at the Market Tavern. We played for the students in the day and a party with support from a jazz band at the same venue in the night. All the band went on a pub crawl in the afternoon because we didn't have to play until 11 p.m. By the time the gig came around, we were all pretty much sloshed. We'd all been drinking single malt whiskies all day. We were out of it. Roddy did a few numbers with us and then started kicking the drummer's drums. Laughing his head off he was. Next minute Roddy fell behind the PA and crashed out. So we did the rest of the gig without him. Went down a storm. At the end of the night we started to pack all the gear away and we left there at about 2 o'clock in the morning. Roddy crashed out in the car. I started to drive back home to Coventry. We just got to the outskirts of Hereford when a police car came up behind us with flashing lights. Oh, yeah. Oh dear. So I stopped the car at the side of the road. The policeman asked me to step into the police car, asked me if I'd been drinking. I said yes, sir. I've had a few. So he wanted to take me for a breathalyser test. I blew and I blew. He told me to blow harder, but I told him I couldn't because I had a weak heart. So they took me in the car to the police station. They took me to the desk where they asked me questions and got me to fill out a form. Plus I had to empty all my pockets. So glad I had no blow on me that night. They told me to sit down and wait, but I needed to go to the toilet, so they let me go. I was in the toilet for about half an hour. I drank so much water out of the taps. I think I managed to dilute a lot of the alcohol which was in my system. I came out of the toilet and still had to wait another half an hour. One of the policemen called me into a small long room. At the end of the room there was a table with a computerised breathalyser machine on it. They asked me to blow in this pipe which was connected to the computer. The meter reading just went over the limit, but they told me that that one didn't count. It's the second blow in the pipe that count, for which I had to wait another 15 minutes. The two policemen that arrested me came into the room. My second blow was just under the limit. One of the policemen said to me, "You must have an angel over your head." So I smiled at both of them and said, "So true, sir, so true." Then I had to wait until someone that could take me back to my car. When I got to the car, Roddy was still crashed out and didn't know anything about what had happened. It was about 5 in the morning, and then I had to drive back to Coventry. I was completely knackered. Luckily I didn't crash the car going back, I was so tired. When I got to Coventry, I had to sort out all the car details down at the station, but before going there, I had to see my friend for an MOT and backdate it for me. Typically Mojo. We've all done a bit of that. I also had to get the car insurance and change the date on it before going to the police station. I talked to the young policeman at the desk so he wouldn't keep looking down at my forms. He signed me through, everything was sorted. Was it luck, or did an angel keep me safe? I think an angel kept me safe. So there we are, that's chapter 3. I think I'm coming back again to do chapter 10. Cheers Mojo, you've had a bit of life you, haven't you? Bit of colour in there. That's it.